We're in portrait mode again, like the one from the other week, for some reason, because sometimes my phone decides it will not live stream in vertical or landscape, or whatever you want to call it. Let's get the chat up on my computer. Hang on, I need to find a good place to put the camera. Rest it on there. I feel like it's going to collapse. This always happens. Oh. Right, it's loading up on my thing. So there's a couple of people watching. Hello. Hello to Richard Blitzen. I know, it's vertical again, the boxed cat. Hello to Quest. Hello to Manchester Aviation Rail. Hello to Carrot2510. Hello everybody who's joining. Yeah, we're vertical. We're vertical this week. Why not? Who doesn't love a vertical vertical live stream? Will the Satellite 5 return this week? Do not fear. The podcast is on the way. Not this week though. I say do not fear for this week. The podcast, we're having a brief 1 week break. Rosanna's on holiday. Elise is in her final week of uni. I'm absolutely exhausted. I don't know what Artie and Tharies are doing with their lives. I think Tharies is, I don't know, shout out to Tharies. But no, there will be no podcast this week, but we will be continuing in the weeks upcoming. The Satellite 5 isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Echo Xmas Special 2025 ? Echo's Destiny's still on the way at some point, so stay tuned for that. Should be good, hopefully. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, there's a lot of editing to do. I've been doing that over the past couple of days. But yeah, Dave Flick says, surely we should have heard more about Billie Piper's Doctor by now. Yes and no. I think it's very apparent that they didn't know the direction they were going to take. So it's not a surprise to me that we don't really know much about her Doctor, or if she even is the Doctor. Obviously, there was those rumours in The Sun and The Mirror, I think, that David Tennant would be coming back. Well, what would people think if David Tennant does come back again? Because I've seen very mixed reception to that possibility online. I think Billie Piper will probably be Bad Wolf once they have their plans in place. Yeah, no, it's I don't know. I don't know how I feel. It would be really sad, says the Boxed Cat. Very desperate, says Nightman. Yeah, it is. It's a weird one where I love David Tennant. Who doesn't love David Tennant as the Doctor? He's great. But is it what the show needs going forward? Austin Woods just simply says 10/14 needs to go away. I did it because, yeah, I do think the desperation thing is correct. The fact that it was only a couple of years ago, yeah, I don't know. The 60th was literally, how long has it even been 2 years? No, it's not even been 2 years yet. So it's, yeah. Ryan S comes in with a different perspective and says, let's enjoy the nostalgia and stop complaining. I do see that point as well, to be fair. Sometimes it is just nice, because as I say, David Tennant's great in the role. You can just enjoy David Tennant as the Doctor without the concern or fan worry that usually overcomes all these things. Oh, there was a slight echo there. Hello everyone else who's joining. If Tennant didn't return, as it'd show RTD is lacking in the imaginative department. Yeah, I think it's such a weird situation that the show's been thrown into, because obviously Ncuti's left. No matter how many times Unleashed go, this was always the plan. I think we know it was not in fact always the plan. So if they do bring back Tennant, 100%, I get why people are saying it seems desperate, but also, I don't know, I can understand the temptation, but then it's finding, there needs to be a new Doctor, I think. Billie Piper, if Billie Piper is the Doctor full-time, you know what? Not the end of the world. We'll be here for that. She is a very good actress. As I said in one of my other videos, I saw her in, I think it was called Yerma. It was like a play, and she was insanely good in that, properly good. She was really good as Rose, and she's had an extra 20 years worth of acting experience. So, yeah. It's going to be intriguing. Tim says, whatever they do, we need a satisfying conclusion to the Susan cameos. Yep, but will we get one? I don't know. I don't know. It's. I mean, I made the video the other day. The original ending apparently was that, so there's this big party at the end of the reality war where it's like, oh yeah, the day's saved, the Vlinks is a DJ, and the camera pans, Susan stood there with baby Poppy, and baby Poppy, Susan says to baby Poppy, come on mum, let's go, or whatever, and that was going to lead into season 3 and all of that, so we'll just have to wait and see on that end of things. But yeah, who knows? She's not credited as the Doctor, so is this regeneration a bad wolf thing? I don't know how to feel. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Billie Piper literally is not credited as the Doctor. So I honestly believe Russell doesn't know where it's going. I think Russell is waiting and hoping that, yeah, if there's a recommission, it depends whether they're going to do some specials, whether they're going to do a full episode, or whatever's going on there. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, without being horrible, the actress that plays Susan is going to be too old to be on screen soon if they don't hurry up, says Dave Flicks. I don't know. I like to imagine that Carol Ann Ford is immortal. That's my headcanon of the real world. I need to go back to their origins. It's always been a wacky children's show. I mean, this is the thing. Doctor Who has always had the balance. It's like Moffat says it in a load of interviews where he's like, it's a kid's show that it's acceptable for adults to watch. And he said it in like a nice way. And I agree, because I think it makes, one of the reasons I love Doctor Who, like that bit where the Doctor was on the Green Goblin glider looking thing, one of the reasons that's so fun is because it makes you, the viewer, feel like you're 7 years old again. It's got so much like childhood fun, nostalgia and whimsy to it that, yeah, I can't remember the original point of that, but you know, it's great fun. To everybody who is chatting, I'm trying to read as many chats as possible. If you super chat, I'll 100% read it because it flashes up on my computer screen, so I'll make sure I don't miss it out. But as ever, there's no obligation. Don't spam the chat, but you can feel free to comment it again if I've completely missed it. He called up Billie Piper to film a cameo and stick on board. Yeah, I mean I think that's the talk that's going around at the moment. It seems like he did just call up Billie Piper and be like, please come back for this ending of the episode. I do want to see, like, if Piper had said no, what direction would they have taken? Would we have had Tennant or another face? Would it have been Freema Agyeman, who regenerates, who the Doctor regenerates into? Would it have been a different companion? I mean, Jenna Coleman, I feel like, would be, if you were gonna cast a companion as the Doctor, I feel like Billie Piper and Jenna Coleman are the two obvious choices. I've seen people suggest Arthur Darvill before, but I don't know. He's a very good actor, but I don't know as he's the Doctor, if that makes sense. Will Billie Piper also be a bridge between two incarnations? She very much could be, but the only thing with that is it would feel like they are literally just doing the 60th anniversary again. Do you know what I mean? Like, we just had the bridge 14th Doctor. Do we need that exact same thing again? I just don't know. Joe, what do you think of Captain Poppy as the grown-up version of Belinda Chandra? That's an interesting theory. How does that work? I'm intrigued. Give me a working out. I'd be intrigued. I don't quite get how that would fall into place, but sure, why not? Anything can happen in Doctor Who. 14 and 16 versus the Daleks. That would be cool. It makes me think of that scene where Rose is like, I've met the Emperor. Oh, excuse the Billie Piper impression, but you know the scene I'm on about, where she's facing the Daleks in Series 2. Kenneth Collard as a mad, tired and desperate master. Who is Kenneth Collard? Let's give this a quick Google. Is there... Right, I'm going to place my phone down. If we run out of charge and the stream dies, Right, can you still hear me? If it's like that, it might be covering the microphone. Card, Kenneth. It's just come up with, I'm on LinkedIn suddenly. I don't know who that is. Hello everybody who's just joining the chat. A Legopolis type watcher would be great. You could have an in-between persona that's not an actual incarnation. 100%, 100%. The watcher, as I've said many a time, is one of my favourite things, like, from classic Who, full stop. There's just something so creepy, unnerving, but also, like, cool. What a description about it. What if the TARDIS is against by generation and Billie Piper, the Ultimate Doctor, and Bad Wolf need to find the 14th to merge back into a singular Doctor? I'm chatting absolute rubbish. It's not out of the realms of possibility. As I say, I think currently any of our theories are basically canon because I don't think Russell T Davies knows. I think he's crossing his fingers and hoping that something hits his mind immediately. As I say, let's say they commission, I don't know, like just a singular Christmas special. I don't think she'll be the Doctor. But if Disney, for example, were to turn around and go, oh, we're going to commission 2 more seasons, I reckon there's a high likelihood he'd keep Billie Piper on as the Doctor for a couple of seasons. But yeah, the Book Forest, yeah, you're right. RTD has no plan. It's for the plot. Exactly. I do think I am so fascinated to see the behind the scenes breakdown. Like, I want to have been there in the Bad Wolf offices when all of this was going down. Like, how did this all happen? Like, who did Russell ring Billie? Did someone contact her agent? What happened? Did he literally just shoot her an Instagram DM going, look, we need you to pop up for 2 seconds in the finale? Like, how does this work? I mean, I've seen people suggest as well it's like a bookend to Doctor Who, like New Who at least. We started with Rose in this New Who era, and we end with Rose. Speed Racer 2000 says Daniel RPK is saying that Disney is dropping out and they're close to getting a new partner, potentially Amazon. Yeah, so Daniel RPK is the guy that apparently leaked the original ending of season 2, the one where Poppy and Susan stood at the party and the Blinks is a DJ. He's the guy that came from. But I don't know. I've seen people saying that same bloke was going on about an 8th Doctor spin-off series, which is that's clearly not happening. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know how reliable the guy is. He might have had a piece of information, which is correct, but then people are running with assuming, hoping, fingers crossed, guessing that, yeah, everything else he says is true. Why Disney would want to continue with Doctor Who is baffling. I don't know. I think Disney, I personally believe, right, the HBO Doctor Who deal is coming to an end very soon. So for all of America, HBO currently exclusively own the rights to stream Doctor Who there. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if once that deal's over, which is supposed to happen this year, I think within the coming months, once that deal is over, could potentially they give the backlog to Disney, and that would keep Disney happy because people would keep coming back. Then, in a similar way to how Disney Plus have The Simpsons on there, the new seasons don't get massively high viewing figures, but they just keep the brand alive. Like, I reckon that could be a way forward for Doctor Who. Yeah, he's very hit and miss, apparently, says Speed Racer. Joe, are you thinking of doing the war between the land and the sea in your chat, bro? Yeah, we'll definitely be making videos on the war between the land and the sea, so stay tuned for all of that. The Satellite 5 podcast will be covering every war between the land and the sea episode as it comes out, so make sure you've got your notification bells on. You don't want to miss out. And as I say, our podcast should be going basically weekly. That we'll obviously have weeks off. Like this week, we're having a week off, but it should be most weeks you'll get a new podcast episode, a couple of new videos, and there is another series that I'm starting, which I'll keep quiet about for now. But stay tuned because it's going to be fun, and we're going to have a lot of good, fun guest spots and stuff on the channel, so should be good. BBC and Disney have gone eerily quiet, says Bad Wolf 66. Yeah, It is. It is the weirdest time I can recall of being a Doctor Who fan in terms of like the future of the show. Like we literally have no idea what's happening with it at all, which I think is basically unheard of. Like there's always been, oh well, it will be a spin-off, or oh there'll be this, or oh there'll be that. We know there's war between the land and the sea, but as for that's it. We have literally no idea what's going on. Yeah, Melody says it's scary and frustrating. I wish they would be transparent. Absolutely, absolutely. I don't quite get why they didn't just say like, yeah, there were scheduling things, we had to move things around. Like it's just so bizarre that they're sticking very firmly to this line of this was always the plan. We all know it wasn't always the plan. Like I don't get it. I don't get it. Hey Joe, is Elise all right? She was devastated in the last podcast. Yes, she is all right. Don't worry. It's all good fun. Nobody on that podcast is actually like traumatized, despite what they may sound like. After the podcast's done, everybody's having fun. Elise is completely fine. So shout out to all the people who've DM'd Elise this week, going, "Are you okay?" Yes, she is okay. She's still here. She will be back. Do not fear. Dugadoo is the bad wolf. I reckon that's accurate. There we go. We've solved that. That's the plot of the next special. Dugadoo is the bad wolf. Chances are war ends with some sort of tagline saying Doctor Who will be back. I doubt we hear anything before then. Yeah, I think this is the thing. If Disney have pulled out, which is entirely plausible, if Disney have pulled out, they're not going to want to sort of... The BBC is not going to continue making Doctor Who without Disney. Disney are going to need to look like, oh yeah, we left them. It's like a breakup. Disney and Doctor Who are probably going through a tricky breakup, and we're going to have to see who comes out the other side. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. These things take months, exactly. Did Elise go to get therapy after the podcast? Is the therapist all right about hearing Doctor Who? Yes, everybody's fine. I'm sure her therapist is very happy. Do you think RTD will continue with Who if it gets the green light? 100%. Russell's made his intent very clear. That man, I don't think, is leaving anytime soon. I don't think he'll be here forever, and I think he's maybe going to stay less time than he thought, but he'll 100% finish off his run as showrunner, as this era. Like, he wouldn't just leave it with Billie Piper. We have a super chat here from Jasmine Gage. Thank you very much to Jasmine Gage, who says, I'm really sad that Ncuti leaving meant Varada also had to leave. From the behind the scenes, it seems like she wanted to do more, and I think Belinda really deserves another season. A shame they had to rush her ending. I couldn't agree more, Jasmine. It is such it's the worst part by far of the reality war is Belinda's ending. Like, it's just bizarre that they basically bid her off and go like, oh yeah, because the character of Belinda that we knew is basically gone. Like, this is a completely new iteration of Belinda, completely new memories, completely new like life motive. So yeah, I think it's such a shame that Belinda's gone, but it is what it is. The show will go on. I wouldn't be sad if she came back, but then I don't think she can because of Poppy. Like, it depends how much they want to tie it all together. Maybe you could come back to her in like years down the line. Yeah, it's just a bit of a shame, really, isn't it? Shout out and thank you to Life Upgrade for the $1.99 super chat. Thank you very much, Life Upgrade. If you want to ask a question, whack it in the live chat and I'll give it a read. But yeah, if not, thank you for the support. Appreciate it. As ever, if anyone does want a super chat, there's no obligation, but it flashes up on my screen, so I will not miss your message. I'll 100% read it. But yeah, there's no pressure as ever. Belinda feels different than Ruby did in season 1. That, my friend, is because there was conflict. Belinda actually had conflict with the Doctor. There were arguments, there was tension. Sure, it may have lasted a week or 2 or 3, I suppose, but Yeah, that's the biggest difference between Belinda and Ruby's dynamics, I think, is yeah, that lack of conflict. The Doctor and Ruby were too happy. Shout out to Rocky65. Thank you very much to Rocky65 for a super chat. Who says no 56? Sorry, Rocky56. I can read. Shout out to Rocky. They say, do you think going forward Doctor Who would work better as movies rather than a TV series format? See, this is a controversial take, which may upset the live chat. Get ready, spam your keyboards with hate. I think Doctor Who should do a couple of movies. I think it would work really well as big budget movies. Look at things like, obviously, I don't know if you could get the budget of Star Wars, but imagine a Dalek. Imagine the TARDIS on that budget. Imagine a Dalek invasion on the budget of Avengers Endgame. Obviously, we're not getting that budget with Doctor Who. It's unrealistic. But imagine how cool that would be. I would happily sacrifice a couple of years of Doctor Who on TV for a trilogy of Doctor Who movies. Like, I think, yeah, Peter Cushing, yeah, people have said it, 100%, it should be cool. Should be cool. Shout out to Adam. Thank you very much to Adam for the super chat. Adam says, cogeneration could merge 14 and 16. It's a rumour. Yeah, so I suppose that's opposite to bigeneration. Rather than splitting into two people merge into one. I like that. Cogeneration. Quite fun. Yeah, I could see that happening. If there's a reason like the Tenant Doctor's face is back, like, I mean, it was kind of explained in the giggle, but also kind of left a little bit open. You could tie that in with why the Rose Doctor, I think we'll call it that, the Billie Piper Doctor, merged together to create a new Doctor. Could be quite cool, and it would tie up the loose ends that we're kind of left with. Do you believe the theories that season 2 was written with Ruby in mind, then scripts were tweaked to remove her and add Belinda? 100%, almost guaranteed. Like, if you look at the Reality War and Wish World, those episodes, I feel, are so clearly the culmination of the Doctor and Ruby's character arcs. Like, Belinda, and I think it's why her character sort of gets left a bit. She clearly wasn't there in draft 1, I don't think. Like, even if you just look at Wish World, Belinda and Ruby's story is two parts of one story. So if Ruby was the mum to Poppy, right, she starts having these doubts. She can't remember when she was in labour. I mean, look at Belinda's family. They're basically just Carla and Cherry. So Ruby leaves the house screaming. She then goes to find Shirley to start the resistance. That's what I think the original plan was. And it also makes more sense because in Space Babies, Captain Poppy says to Ruby and the Doctor, are you our parents? And then the Doctor and Ruby go, oh, we wish we were. Wish world. That's why they got a wish baby of Poppy. They said, we wish you... Like, do you know what I mean? It all ties together. And I think that makes a lot more sense. Because also, Belinda literally gets locked in a box for half the plot. She's literally just popped in a box. Like, why would they do that? I think it's because originally this was Ruby's big finale, the Doctor and Ruby, culmination of all of that, which is a shame. It's a shame we didn't see that. Shout out to Tech Refreshed 1000. Thank you very much, Tech Refreshed 1000, for the super chat. Tech Refreshed 1000 says, how would fans have reacted if 15 regenerated into Russell T Davies? I had a dream that happened, and I think he would actually do it. I think the fandom would explode somehow even more than it already did. There'd be a couple of people that love it, there'd be a couple of people that are indifferent, and there'd be a whole lot of people saying, this is the end of the world, I'm going to destroy everything. But no, I don't think Russell wouldn't do that. I don't think he would. In the writer's tale, he wrote about how he would never cameo in Doctor Who, because apparently in 2008 everyone was saying, oh, you should cameo in it, you should like crop up briefly, because he was an actor back in the day. There's pictures of him in like a performance of Grease from when he was a teenager, and he was involved with theatre and stuff. So he could act. I'd be interested. But no, I know for a fact, yeah, Russell, he wouldn't do it. I don't think he'd do it. It would be hilarious though. I'd kind of be here for it, not forever. For a comedy sketch, for like a Curse of the Fatal Death 2 have a Moffat Doctor, a Russell Doctor, and a Chibnall Doctor. That would be amazing. Oh. How do you know no Doctor Who until 2027? We don't know, but I think that's one of the things being thrown around, because if, at the moment, I don't think they've got any specific plans. They're waiting till War Between the Land and the Sea's done, they're waiting till all of that's done, so it is just a case of waiting and seeing. I don't think we're going to get any more Doctor Who 2026, so the earliest I see, realistically, is either Christmas 2026 or 2027 is when it comes back. That's if it comes back. You never know. We might be Wilderness Years 2. Let's go. We'll just have to wait and see. Thoughts on how they got a chair on set for Billie shown on RTD's Insta while it is to believed she was in London? I think it's either photoshopped, because I reckon they saw, you know, the Avengers did that big unveiling where there were all the chairs with all the cast members' names on. I reckon they saw that and were like, marvellous, we'll take it, and tried to do their own, probably photoshopped, to be honest. Or they had Billie Piper's chair in storage somewhere, and were just like, from like the OG series, whack it out, put it on set, maybe. If, Joe, please, I won't be able to survive. I know, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. I think it'll come back. Like, I don't know in what form and I don't know when, but the thing is, it's literally like Russell said at the start of this season's press tour. Doctor Who has survived so much that this is the thing as well, everyone cried like, oh, Billie Piper being the Doctor, it's going to kill the show. No, it's not. Doctor Who survived everything. Like, it's literally, Doctor Who isn't going anywhere forever. Sure, it might disappear for a bit, but it's too good of an idea. Like, I genuinely believe Doctor Who is the best TV show idea ever. You can literally change the new cast, change to a new cast. You can change so many different things. So yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Today is my birthday. Shout out. Shout out to you. I hope you have a great birthday. I hope you have a great birthday. Are there better odds of Torchwood or Class coming back? I don't think Torchwood would ever come back, because I think John Barrowman and the BBC have gone their separate ways. Class, I don't know why I didn't start with that. Class isn't coming back anytime soon, if we're being realistic. I don't think that's happening. It's a shame. It was all right. I enjoyed it when it happened. I was at the exact right age to enjoy Class, the Doctor Who spin-off, when it happened, because it was like teenager, like early teens, like, whoa, this is cool. It's like Doctor Who, but dark and gritty, which looking back is slightly cringe, but yeah. We've got a super chat here. Thank you very much to Life Upgrade for a super chat. Life Upgrade says, if RTD was the 16th Doctor, I would stop watching. Fair enough. I think there'd be a lot of people that join you on that. I mean, the term jumped the shark, I feel like that would be shark jump. It would be slightly insane. It would be crazy. And just for the pure chaos, I kind of want to see it happen. I don't actually. Please, Russell, don't get any ideas. Shout out to Nicole Ashbringer. Thank you very much for the super chat, Nicole. Yeah, really appreciate it. Thank you very much for the support. Billie Piper is shark jumping, says Austin Woods. Perhaps. I still have hope that it's gonna be good. I think they were messed around. It's a tricky plan. No, it's tricky, so they've come up with a plan. Hopefully the plan pans out. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. It is history repeating. Jodie Whittaker is the Colin Baker era, and Ncuti Gatwa is the Sylvester McCoy era, although season 26 was excellent in my view. Yeah, except the Sylvester McCoy era didn't end with Sylvester regenerating into Elizabeth Sladen. Imagine that. See, that's how bizarre it is that he's regenerated into Rose. Like, imagine Sylvester McCoy regenerated into Elizabeth Sladen. That's literally the equivalent here. Like, that would just be absolutely weird. The RTD Doctor could have the catchphrase, simply marvellous. That would be so good. We need to make this happen. Someone get Russell on the line. We'll get him in Echoes. We'll get the Russell Echo Doctor. Absolutely marvellous. I think it's such a good catchphrase. It's such a good catchphrase. Joe, what about you as the 17th Doctor? I'm sure that's what they want. BBC, I'm right here. I'll send you my application, please. Anyone else really want to see Ruby return? Yeah, it would be nice to see more from Ruby. I did enjoy her in season 2. I thought she was getting a lot more like character development stuff. Hopefully we get more of her, but I don't think we will. I would like to see, but then also I feel like Doctor Who needs a fresh start after this, which is insane because there was literally like a fresh start, what, 2 years ago? How long's it been? It's not even been 2 years since Church on Ruby Road, and we already need a fresh start. Wild. It is this era of Doctor Who is going to go down in history. It's like the missed opportunities, which is such a shame. They could have done so much more. Charles Dickens III, not another portrait stream. I know. As soon as I started going live, I was like, oh dear. My phone just sometimes randomly is like, no, we're staying in portrait mode, which is what's happening today. So yeah, I've got a stubborn phone. World Enough in Time / The Doctor Falls is the best finale, and that's because it deals more with the personal stories and character arcs rather than big cosmic scale events. 100%. See, this is the thing. The characters at the centre of the story are far more important than literally anything else happening in the show. Like, it's so important to get that right, then add the cool sci-fi stuff. Because why The Doctor Falls works so well. You've got the core emotions of all the characters, which is peak. Plus the cool stuff with the Master. You've got the spectacle of the Cybermen. You've got all the battles with the Cybermen versus the humans. You've got all that going on while you've got characterization underneath of it. Which, yeah, that's what makes it really cohesive and really good. In the 5-ish Doctors, RTD talked about himself becoming the next Doctor, so I think he would do it. Yeah, but to be fair though, he was talking about it in a jokey way. It's where it's a scene where he's got his action figures, isn't it? John Barrowman as the 69th Doctor. Yeah, I dread to think what his sonic screwdriver would look like, or where he'd put his sonic screwdriver. Make my Kate's lesbian era dream come true. Yeah, what are we thinking about Kate and Colonel Ibrahim? Are we on board with Kate and Colonel Ibrahim? They feel really random. I can't lie. Like I sure, go for it. Drop some Riz, but I don't know. I want to see, like, why do they care for each other? Like, where's this office romance sparked from? What caused it? Yeah, there's a good mix here of people that ship it and people that don't. I'm here for it, but not approving it. It's a moral issue for UNIT. Yeah, it is a slight moral issue. It's, yeah, 20-year age gap as well, yeah. Have you seen Colonel Ibrahim? What's not to like? I mean, you make a fair point there. Like her and her Zygon, they can't have screen tested no chemistry, says John. I want to see an update to the prosthetics / Slitheen CGI. Yeah, more Slitheen. I want the Slitheen back. I'm really surprised Chris Chibnall never brought them back, because it was at the time where you had Boris Johnson and Donald Trump as the Prime Minister and President. Like, that is asking for a Slitheen story. Like, politicians, it is literally, like, it would write itself. Shirley times the Blinks ship. I'm not on board for that, I'm afraid. I'm not on board for that. Who remembers Donald Trump in the 13th Doctor's era? I know, what was his name? Jack Robertson. Is that it? Robertson? Yeah, he could have been a Slitheen. Yeah, get our Raxacoricophalapatorians back. Oh, I'm proud of myself that I said that first try. I forgot, but yes. The Rogue thing as a carbon copy of Jack Harkness was just awful too. What was the point? To be fair, I didn't think he was too similar. Like, obviously, there were a lot of similarities. Actually, I literally just said that out loud and went, no, he was very similar. Yeah, he was just slightly less suspect, really, wasn't he? It was a more respectful characterization of the Captain Jack Harkness. Captain Jack has had a bad injury and face becomes rogue and lost memory too. Yeah, maybe. Also, Kate had so many costume changes in the reality war. Did she? I didn't notice. She probably did. I'm not calling you a liar. Yeah, there were a lot of other things to pay attention to in that episode. So I'll try and spot that on my rewatch. Wait, shorts can do lives now too. This isn't a YouTube short. It's a live. I'm wearing tweed. The links for Doctor 17. No. The links for anything, to be honest. The links do something. That's what we're here for. I'd love it if the links actually decided to not just retreat into the floor. Who would be your craziest pick for the 17th Doctor? Tharies. I'm here for it. Get Tharies. Tharies is the 17th Doctor. It's what the world needs. Start the hashtag now. Hashtag Tharies as the 17th Doctor. The Flinks and Canine ship. There we go. I'm on board for that one. I want to make some toast links. Are we getting New Who? As in New Who or New Who? What New Who would we be on now? We had New Who 2005. Jodie Era's New Who. This is New Who. So we're on New Who. What a sentence. What a sentence. Poor Carol Ann Ford's come back for this garbage. Hope her agent got a paycheck. I don't know. I think the problem is we don't know where it's going. I'm holding out hope. I'm crossing my fingers. The Susan return is going to be absolutely marvellous as it goes on. Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Probably, hopefully. They should bring back K9. You know what? You've all convinced me. The Links and K9. We need to see it happen. Get K9 back in the show. I know, actually, Chris Chibnall did want to do that. He said on a podcast not that long ago, he was like, they tried to get the rights to K9 for the 13th Doctor's era, but they just, like, the estate or whoever it was wouldn't give it to them. So, alas, we never got K9. But that's a shame. I'd love to see K9 back. K9 and Mr. Smith are still arguing. Yeah, I mean, the Links is basically just Mr. Smith, but not as cool, in my opinion. Andrew Scott would make a great Doctor. I know the name. I'm going to kick myself. Andrew Scott. Yeah, Moriarty. Is his name Moriarty? Is that the villain? It is Moriarty. What's his name? Is it Moriarty? The evil one in Sherlock. Yeah, it is Moriarty. Shout out to Career Directory. Thank you very much to Career Directory for the super chat. Career Directory says, how do you view regeneration? As a form of death or the same person? And how will Ruby react if she meets the 26th Doctor? So, how do you view regeneration? As a form of death? I think it's a bit of both, to be honest, because you've got to acknowledge, like, a character's kind of dying. Like, that version of the Doctor is dead. Like, they stop existing. Unless they're David Tennant, then they'll come back every other year. But they stop existing at the point of regeneration. And it is like the End of Time set, like some new person does leave. So in a way, it's a form of death. But also, if we're going, like, looking at the John Pertwee era, it's basically reincarnation. Like, there's a lot of, like, Buddhist sort of philosophy in Planet of the Spiders. And, yeah, it's very much like, it's not death, it's just change, it's renewal. And I like, my favourite regenerations are when the Doctor is accepting and acknowledging that this is a death, but it's a necessary part of life. I mean, I'm about to quote Matt Smith, but everybody changes all throughout their lives. And you just got to remember the people that you used to be. It's like that. And I think it's one of the greatest concepts in fiction. Like, it's clever for keeping the show going, but it's also, like, nice. I like the sort of phoenix rising from the ashes kind of thing. And how would Ruby react if she met the 26th Doctor? I have absolutely no idea. We have no idea who the 26th Doctor will be, or if... No, there will be. We're going to get to 100 Doctors. I've decided. Yeah, that'll happen in the future. Undeniable, 100%. It's got to happen, please, and hopefully. But yeah, thank you to Career Directory for the super chat. Fizzgig says, hello, I'm late. I've been painting. What have you been painting? Let's you can't put pictures in chat, but let us know. Would love to see Jamie Matheson return as a writer. Yeah, let's have a look at some of his stories. British television screenwriter. Doctor Who. Mummy on the Orient Express, 10 out of 10. Girl Who Died, it's alright. Oxygen, 10 out of 10. Yeah, absolutely. Get him back. Get him back. Why hasn't he come back? Come on. Well, that's what we need. That is what we need. The chat's done that jumpy thing again. A commission for a client. It's an acrylic pour, but I also do pet portraits. Very cool, very cool. Well, good luck with that. Joe, here's a new one. Who would your pick be for the next master? I can answer this immediately without even thinking. Charles Dance would be the best master of all time. Imagine, dress up Charles Dance like Roger Delgado, have him go in, 10 out of 10 master. That would be genuinely, absolutely marvellous. Marvellous. Everyone's saying Matt Smith as the master. This is a thing that's been going around for so long. I feel like just because Marvel have done it with Robert Downey Jr., that does not mean Doctor Who need to do it with Matt Smith. Because also, may I remind you, Matt Smith playing Mr. Clever in Nightmare and Silver is not his finest hour. So would he Dr. Master's in chat, of course, with a block of cheese as the master. Now that does now overtake my idea of Charles Dance as the master. I think, yeah, why don't we have a block of cheese as the Doctor as well? Everyone's cheese. It's like when everything was cake on TikTok back in the day. Everyone's cheese. Dan Stevens for the master. Who's Dan Stevens? Let's give it a Google. I do not know this man. But if he's good at acting, sure. Why not? Downton Abbey. Beauty and the Beast. I've seen that live action Beauty and the Beast. Who was he in that? I don't know. Maybe we'll never know. Maybe we'll never know. The cheese is back in chat. He played the villains in the movies, bro. Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean is the first Doctor. Nice. Thank you very much to Josh DeHuman. Thank you very much, Josh DeHuman, for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Josh says, I think Susan is the boss of the Time Hotel and is potentially also the White Guardian, and the boss of the Meep is the Black Guardian. That's a nice shout. You're tying a lot of theories together there. I'm 100% sold on Susan being boss of the Time Hotel. Obviously, it ties in with Anita, and you could tie it in with Rogue in a way. Adding to that, in Wishworld, Susan appears on the TV just before Rogue because she's his boss. She was pushing Rogue through to send a message to the Doctor, perhaps. As for Susan being the White Guardian, I don't know how that would quite work. It's not impossible, but it's a nice theory. And yet the Black Guardian 100% could be the boss of the Meep. So good theory. Nice. I like it. I like it. Thank you very much. Right. Scroll down. Rowan Atkinson. Yeah, well, I mean, he's done his time, hasn't he? And Curse of the Fatal Death. I love Curse of the Fatal Death. Mr. Blobby as Davros. Mr. Blobby's technically in Doctor Who. I'm going to roll with that. He's in the Dimensions in Time, Noel's house party, just before Doctor Who. Joe Street as the Master. Maybe. Stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned. Joe Street as the Master. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Thank you very much to Chris for the super chat. Shout out to Chris. Chris asks, favourite Doctor Who actor and era? I can answer both of those in one. Capaldi and Capaldi. He, to me, is the perfect Doctor. He is literally, that man embodies everything it is to be the Doctor. He's also got the best writing and stories, in my opinion. The Doctor Falls, World Enough and Time, peak Doctor Who. I'm not as sold on Series 9, to be honest. I love him and Clara, but some of the stories, I don't particularly like Magician's Apprentice, which is familiar, but Capaldi Era as a whole is just so good. So yeah, that's my favourite. But thank you to Chris for the super chat. Yeah, I really think Susan is the boss. River Song is the boss. Maybe. I hope though River Song's story is done. She was really good, but it's done. I would love Jack Black as the Doctor. Yeah, that could be cool. The Teletubby Baby Gallifrey recast. I don't even know where to begin unpacking that statement, but sure. Matt Ryan as the Doctor. Let's give a Google to Matt Ryan. American footballer? I presume not. I don't know who this man is. Jack Black, yeah. Dalek jockey. Oh, it's cursed. Yeah, Jack Black. Yeah. Yeah. No. Settled on no. I wouldn't be against it wholeheartedly, but I think that there could be better people out there. I really want to see Matt Berry as the meddling monk. That's what Doctor Who needs to do next. You've brought back all these classic villains. Bring back Matt Berry as the monk. I say bring back. He's never been the monk, but do it. Thank you very much to Fleeson771 for the super chat. Shout out to Fleeson771 who says, Shooty said, my knees, then posts ballet training. I know. I did crack up at that. I do not understand for the life of me why Unleashed and the behind the scenes are so clearly, they're like, this was always the plan, no it wasn't, and it's okay to admit that. We know it wasn't. Please stop saying it was always the plan. Thank you very much to Stephen Legresley. Thank you very much to Stephen for the super chat. Stephen says, Hugh Laurie would be a great Doctor with Charles Dance as the Master. Prediction, Season 3 bad guy will be the Valeyard. I'd be on board for that. Yeah, as I say, Charles Dance is my dream casting for the Master. He'd just be so good. Like, yeah, he'd give Derek Jacobi vibes as well, which is always a good thing. 100% should happen. Yeah, fingers crossed. And Season 3's villain being the Valeyard, I could see it. I mean, we know Russell loves to bring back classic stuff. Who have we got left? We've got the Monk, we've got the Valeyard, Black and White Guardians. That's kind of about it. So it's probably one of those three. We'll have to wait and see. Barry Keoghan as the devil, brackets, cheater. I can see the Slovenia Carpenter fans are rising up in the chat. Did you see Shooty post? I think the Valeyard should stay firmly in the 6th Doctor's era. Ooh, controversial. Why is that? I'd like to see the Valeyard come back. A new character, though. Like, no, not new character, new actor as the Valeyard. I'd be here for that. I feel like as well, though, I mean, it's the direction. I think the Doctor Who Echo series, if you want to go and watch it, we need to see an actual Doctor turn, like, go full Time Lord victorious, and another. This is how you do a multi-Doctor story. You have one Doctor go off the rails, and the other Doctors have to solve the problem. Like, I feel like that would be a really interesting direction to take. Shout out to Bella Magic. Thank you very much, Bella Magic, for the super chat. Bella Magic says, would you support the show if RTD was the Doctor? I love how so much of this live chat's been speculating RTD would be the Doctor, when I almost 100% think he wouldn't do that. But would I support the show, asks Bella. Realistically, I think I will probably support the show no matter what, to be honest. Unless it does something horrific. But I love Doctor Who. Like, it's great fun. I've got like a mother's love for it. Like, it can disappoint me, but it's my child. I love Doctor Who. So I'd have a lot of questions, and I wouldn't be happy, and I'd think it would probably be the end of the show, but I'd probably still support it. I wouldn't support that idea, but I'd support the show, if that makes sense. Shout out to Cam. Thank you very much to Cam for a super chat. Cam says, chat, I'd like to say he had to lie saying his knees were starting to act up. It's Disney's fault he left, lads. He didn't want to wait too long. Yeah, 100%. That's the thing to clear up here, as Cam has pointed out very, very rightly. This is not Shooty Gatwa's fault. There should be no blame or hate or anything sent to Shooty Gatwa at all. This man he's a working man, he's an actor, he's got to just do what he's got to do. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's gone and he's going to do other projects, which is entirely fair enough. Like, good for him. I wish him the best. Right, who's spamming? Have you seen the unit ARG? I have not, no. What would make you quit Doctor Who? It's a good question. I don't know. I don't know what the limits are. I don't know. I'd be intrigued. Give me suggestions. Chat, give me suggestions. See how far you can push it before I'll be like, I'm out of Doctor Who. Because I genuinely don't know. I genuinely don't know. Are we getting too many short run doctors? I think we need a doctor with a longer run. Yeah, we need a long doctor. Okay, there we go. BC's hit the nail on the head. Donald Trump becomes showrunner. Yeah, if that ever happened, I'd be gone. Another David Tennant return. See, I wouldn't necessarily be on board, but I don't think it would make me quit the show. Omega comes back as a big skeleton baby. Ha. The Doctor is dead and it's just a screen. No, I'd love that. I'd stay watching. It'd be great. Peter Capaldi as the Valiard would be so good. So good. An episode... I'm not going to read that out, but yeah, that wouldn't be ideal, would it? Wouldn't be ideal. Omega comes back as a block of cheese. That's got to happen. There's nothing wrong with that. That's amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Oh, right, I'm going to quickly... Yeah, you're going to go handheld for a moment while I charge my phone, because, as ever, this phone is being stubborn and refuses to just stay in portrait mode. We must carve Omega out of cheese. I challenge anyone I challenge anyone watching this live stream, if you can carve an Omega out of cheese and tag me in it somewhere, I'll repost it and you'll get a shout out in the next video. If you carve Omega out of cheese, it's gotta happen. It's gotta happen. Are you the next Doctor Who showrunner? Yes, but don't tell anyone. It's top secret stuff. If the Doctor has an evil twin, who is the evil twin named the surgeon? I don't know. The Vlinx turns out to be Chameleon all along. Oh, is in Chameleon from Classic Who. Actually, there's a lot of similarities there. That's a Russell level plot twist. I mean, I've never quite known what on earth's going to happen in the Russell era since he did the Giggle audio commentary, in which he says he had this idea for the Rumiant, right? And the Rumiant was going to be a sentient cow working in the unit control room, right? And halfway through the episode, I'm not making this up, this is literally from the word of Russell T Davies. Halfway through the episode, he rips off the top of his head, and he's not actually a cow. Inside is Stephen, the classic companion, who then joins unit to help them take down the toy maker. That was genuinely something Russell said. Marvellous. Absolutely marvellous. Thank you very much to Cam for a super chat. Shout out to Cam. Cam says, RTD rolls up David Tennant from the care home for the 100th anniversary. Yeah, I imagine so. I mean, David Tennant... I think the thing is, though, David Tennant would be... He'd be coming out of the care home himself. He loves it. David Tennant he'll be there forever. Genuinely pair this with the petrol waffle. What is the man smoking? I know. Absolutely marvellous. A companion called Petrol. You had me at a sentient cow. But this is the plot twist. It's not actually a sentient cow. It's all a lie. That's what we thought it was. But the big plot twist is it's actually Stephen Taylor. Where is my boy Petrol? I know. Can we get just hashtag justice for Petrol in chat? Thank you, Bob Sherwood, channel member. Bob Sherwood says, can you imagine yourself as a potential future showrunner of a new version of Doctor Who? I know you have a good presence of mind, and you wouldn't think of introducing sentient cows into unit. I mean, I'd love. Look, most Doctor Who fans, let's be honest, if you were offered the role of showrunner, you'd take it. If someone offered me the role of showrunner, I'd take it. It's not going to happen. It would be lovely if it did happen. If anyone from the BBC's watching, guys, I'm here. But no, I'd love to be showrunner. It'd be good fun. And no, I wouldn't introduce any sentient cows. Don't worry. The next Doctor will be a dog. Doctor Who. Haha. Shout out to Alex the Great. Thank you very much, Alex the Great, for the super chat. Who says, what if the Doctor had a Cyberman for a companion, but the Cyberman had its humanity and personality restored and has to live as a Cyberman? It would be cool. It reminds me kind of Handel's in Time of the Doctor. I wish he stuck around for longer, although he's technically still like the robot side of the Cybermen. He hasn't got his human side back. Yeah, people are saying that's Bill Potts as well. Yeah, no, it'd be cool to see. They need to do more stuff with the Cybermen. They need. Yeah, let's go more Cybermen stuff in Doctor Who. It'd be cool. In Echo, can you have a companion called Petrol in case Russell doesn't actually do it? Who knows what the future may hold? Let's see. Petrol post-credit scene. Is it just me, or did Millie look really uncomfortable in the clapping at Shooty rapping clip from the latest Unleashed episode? I don't know. I haven't seen. I didn't study that study. Oh, why did I say study? I didn't see her face during that scene, so I'm not 100% sure. I need petrol, says Hashjaz. The next Doctor is a ghost, Dr. Boo. Can we all get the comment your best/worst Doctor Who puns in the chat? I wanna see as many of those as possible. Right, there we go. Petrol is the new Doctor. Yep, marvelous. Do you dabble in Big Finish? Not really. I've listened to a couple of Big Finishes. It is on my to-do list. I like Big Finish. Apparently, it's really, really good and really cool. And the one, I mean, Spare Parts is the one I absolutely loved listening to. Like, that was so good. So 100%, I need to listen to more Big Finish. They're great. Shout out to Big Finish. Dr. Blue, brackets cheese. Doctor 2 is Omega. Billie is the new Doctor. Or, no, Billie is Dr. New. Dr. New, nice. Dr. Flu, Clue, Shoe. The moment we've been waiting for. Would you like Doctor Who to become more like the Netflix time travel show Dark? I've never seen it, so I don't know. If it's good, sure. The next Doctor is a pigeon. Dr. Coo. Oh, these are. I have a nickname, Roo, so if I'm the Doctor, it could be called Dr. Roo. It's genius. Dr. Goo, Dr. Do, Dugga Do. It's like James Bond. The name's Dr. Do, Dugga Do. Shout out to Cam. Thank you very much, Cam, for another super chat. Cam says RTD has officially regenerated into Conrad Clark. I hope he hasn't. Fingers crossed. Let's hope he hasn't. Or if he has, it's the new Conrad Clark after the reality shift, not the Nigel Farage Conrad Clark iteration. We need another Sontaran story. We do. If you want another Sontaran story, stay tuned to this channel. I'm just saying. Who knows? What would you do with the Daleks? They need to be threatening again. They need to be scary. They need to be as sassy as they were in Chibnall and Russell's era. And they need to not show up every season. We need a prolonged Dalek break, which, to be fair, we've had now. Can I carve Omega out of a potato? Yeah, go on. Any carving of Omega, I'll appreciate. The next companion is Drax, as in Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy? Or there's a Drax in Doctor Who, I feel, somewhere. I can't remember. Scooby-Dooby Doctor Do. Forget just the Sontaran story. We need Strax back. I have always thought an animated Strax, Vastra and Jenny kids show on CBBC would be peak. Like, that should have happened. Happened. Should have happened. That would have been good. Oh. Wolf420 says, I love you as the Dr. Joe. You're awesome. How's your plan for Echoes Destiny Part 2 coming along? Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed the films. It's coming along well. I just today ordered a new hard drive, like a massive storage thing, because Echoes Destiny was crashing my computer because of how big. It's massive. It's going to be the longest part out of all 4 of them. And there's just so much going on in it. There's so many effects as well. Like, there's so many wonderfully created CGI environments and ships and sets created by RT. Yeah, loads of stuff. Titanic has nothing on Echo's Return. Exactly. Do you study film at uni? I have, my degree is up there. I have a degree, first class degree, in television production. I finished it almost exactly a year ago. It was a year ago, oh no, I suppose it was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I'm explaining this really badly. It's been 2 weeks since I got a degree in TV. Rhymes. Stop spamming the chat, mission understood. Please understand that mission. Brian Blessed as a sentient cow. It's just what the world needs. Right, I think I'm going to start wrapping up this live stream now. So if you want me to 100% read your chats, please pop them in as super chats. It will flash up on my screen and I will make sure not to miss any of them. Or just comment again. I'm going to do quick fire, read some more. I'll read as many as I can. Imagine a parallel universe where we've got a full Doctor Who Lego game. Yeah, I know. Doctor Who Lego Dimensions back in the day absolutely slapped. Dr. Master says, I think the way to fix Doctor Who is to embrace the nostalgia in the aesthetic/vibe of the show, not characters returning. Luring the casual fans, keep them with modern era storytelling. 100%. This is the thing. We can still flash back to the past. 100%. And I'm down for returning characters, but they need to be contextualized, not as homework, but as this is what's present. This is a new character for a new generation. They have ties to Classic Who, but they're new. New. Dr. Email Strax, he becomes Dr. Yahoo. That is the worst pun we've got so far. Matt Berry as an OTT master. Sure, why not? Cybermen, Daleks and Cybermen back, Sassing as a spin-off, 100%. I mean, people were suggesting that the war between the land and the sea, the Instagram account is called The War Between, so you could interchange different things depending on which spin-off you were going for. So you could have the war between the Daleks and the Cybermen, or the war between the Ice Warriors and the Ice, I don't know. Yeah. There's just loads of potatoes in chat. Shout out to the potatoes, I guess. Sontarans. Justice for Mel. Yeah, Mel needs to be given more to do, to be honest. Before you end, if you were showrunner, who would you cast as the Doctor? June Kerr from Star Wars. If you don't know him, Google him. Let's have a look. It's not coming up. I've probably spelled it wrong. The guy from Grand Theft Auto? Oh. A can of spaghetti hoops as the Doctor. Sure, why not? The next Doctor needs to be a pair of twins. Doctor 2, nice. Doctor Guess Who, brackets, the board game. Very nice. Before you end, which Doctor is the most potato-y? For me, Sylvester McCoy. What, like, Yeah, we'll go with Sylvester McCoy. Why not? Baked beans or spaghetti hoops. Yeah. Shout out to baked beans and spaghetti hoops. The Doctor has a thing for feet. Doctor Shoe. Oh dear. Oh dear. Doctor Who greeting you as a surprise. Doctor You Who. Excellent. The man on the mountain from Flux is the next Doctor. Yes, the one who wanted all the gossip. What a great place to bring this live stream to a close. But thank you everybody so much for joining me in this live stream. There'll be more coming soon. We still haven't broken the streak of daily posting for the past 11 weeks. So yeah, we're on a roll here. That streak may come to an end this weekend, but fingers crossed not. We'll see. We'll wait and see. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you did enjoy. As ever, remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, etc. You know the drill. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Now, I'm going to have to, because this is in portrait mode, you're going to have to watch me struggle like an old person to end the live stream.